In this segment, we're going to cover basic troubleshooting of the device, loading paper, clearing jams, loading toner and supplies. So there's a few different configurations around the district. This device we were looking at happens to be a BizHub 364E. It has 3 paper trays in the front and a bypass tray on the side. To load paper, the top 2 trays on all these devices hold 500 sheets each. They're also universal, so these will hold from a half letter size, which is 5.5 by 8.5, up to 11 by 17. Because they hold 500 sheets of paper, and that's what a pack of paper is, if you have paper in the tray, you're not going to be able to get a whole new pack in on top of it. These side rails adjust. You just want your paper to be up against the right-hand side. Note that on this bracket, when you close it, give it a little wiggle to make sure you actually hit the notch. Especially if your stack of paper is not quite even all the way, you might think you're in a notch, and when you close it, it might kick open. So you're going to hit off trouble just by giving that a little wiggle to make sure. If you do adjust the paper to a different size, the copier's automatically going to know that and be ready to go. Some of the copiers in the county have 1, 2, and then 2 separate trays on the bottom. Some have the 2 top trays and a storage cabinet. If it's a storage cabinet, it opens from the right side. This one happens to have the bottom large capacity tray. This is the one tray that actually holds paper on both sides. So this one by itself holds 5 packs of paper. It's 2,500 sheets. Note, when you're loading paper, you have to be mindful of this orange guide that's in the back. This separates this stack from the opposite side. If you load paper and it is touching this little yellow guide at all, it will not recognize that there's paper in the copier. So you really need to make sure, and you'll head off headaches just by taking the extra few seconds when you load paper of making sure no paper is touching this guide. If you run out of paper in any of these trays, the LEDs will light up orange, letting you know that. Again, the bypass tray on the right-hand side, this holds 150 sheets of paper. If it's large paper, there's a little fold out for that. The paper path, when you have access to the entire thing, so if there is a problem, because this has the large tray on the bottom, there are gray handles showing you what opens. There's a bottom tray, there's a side tray, this area that shuttles the paper through here, and then out on the side. So the paper comes out of these trays, up the side, around through here, and out to the output tray. It's going to be rare that you have to open this. This, actually, when you lift it up, it actually sits itself to the right. So to get it back down, you just give it a little pull to the left, and you put it back down. But there are going to be instances probably that you're going to have an issue going on down here. The paper got dog-eared, or for whatever reason, it can't make that first turn out of the trays. So if this copier screen shows you that you have an issue going on in this area with the paper, open the side first, because you can probably see that piece of paper, pull it out, and you're finished, versus if you open the tray first, you might rip it in half. Now you've got to find 2 pieces of paper. Also know that if you realize the copier jammed because of the way you asked it to do the job. Best example is you had very thick paper in the copier, and you forgot to tell it that was thick paper, and it can't make the turns, and you have a problem. Delete your job. There's job lists. Delete the job before you clear the jam, because if you clear the jam first and close the copier, it's immediately going to fire up and try and do that job again. So just keep that in mind. If you realize you're like, oh, I know why it messed up, because I told it something wrong, delete your job and then clear the jam. This device has a staple finisher and a hole punch in it. Some do not. If your copier does not have this accessory on the left-hand side, your pages are going to come out in the cavity right here. But for those that do, your copies and prints are going to come out in this large 3,000 sheet tray. If you have a fax installed on your copier, those faxes and fax reports are going to show in the top tray. There's some instructions on how to load staples. Staples come in cartridges of 5,000. Staples are included along with the toner and your supplies. So when it's out of staples, this will motor itself to the front. But just to show you guys, this is your staple cartridge. So right now it's full, but when it's empty, this clear part, there's arrows on the side and the back. You pinch that, pull it out. You take the new cartridge, you put it in the front, and you click it back down. Staple side up. You just push it in until it clicks. And then you close it up, and it will motor itself back. It stays in the back because usually it's doing corner stapling. There is a possibility if you have the hole punch that one day it's going to say that your hole punch collection tray is full. Open the finisher, it's right here. You just empty your hole punch holes in recycling and put that back in. Along the document feeder, again, it's gray showing you what opens. This open, the gray tray moves. On the bottom, there's a way to open it here. You're gonna head on. Be sure you don't run paper clips and staples through the document feeder. That's gonna take care of almost all your problems. The toner is in the front tray. This is a black and white device, so there's only one toner. If this were color, the 3 colors would be right here. You just turn it and open it. You're taking your new one out of the box, put it in, and click it up, and that's it. The color toners, they only fit where they're supposed to, so there's not a chance that you're going to put the yellow toner in the black space. It won't fit, so you don't have to worry about that. The main power to the whole device is in this cover. That might, varying on model, this might be in a different place, but it is in the front cover of these devices. If you ever have a situation where the copier won't come back on, there's a job hung that you're trying to print, something odd happened to it, turn the device off here, wait 5 to 10 seconds, and then turn it back on. That's going to be your first line of defense if there's an issue. These toners, by the way, are like milk jugs, so they are recyclable. The ones that have the white plastic, you just, when this is empty, you take this and you throw it in your recycling with milk jugs or bottles. There's a waste toner container on these devices. You wouldn't know, but there's blue. Eventually it's going to say that you need to replace your waste toner cartridge. This odd looking thing is a collection tray. It does have a hole in it. Be sure not to dump this. When this is full, this is going to be a replaceable item that we're going to ship you a new one, and you pop the new one in. This one goes in the trash carefully. There's 2 sides and there's 2 guides. So you put it back in until these little brackets clamp back over it. There's going to be a CEI sticker on all these devices. This is how you'll place service calls and order supplies. Again, staples, toner, all these things are included. Paper's not, masters for the duplicators are not, but everything else is covered. Each device will have its individual ID. It'll have telephone numbers on there. There's 2. They're both 919 numbers. We do not have 800 numbers. We do not have phone trees. When you call us, you talk to people, but you'll call and say, you know, this is our 1000, whatever the case may be. We'll know what device that is and where it is, and you can just let us know, hey, I need to order toner. There's a, you know, I have a problem. Please have a tech come out, and we'll take care of everything for you. All right, that's a little basic rundown of the device, how to load paper, a little bit of troubleshooting, and then how to load supplies and how to order them. Thank you very much.